Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Welcome back for another weekend edition of News I Missed, where I go over news I missed over the last 7 days in the cryptocurrency space. There's always an enormous amount of news floating around out there, and I don't have the time all the time to cover every single topic. Therefore, I make these videos to go over the other things that are happening in the cryptocurrency space that I may not have been able to go over during the previous week. To start things off, the discussions of Bitcoin just do not seem to stop, with new reports coming in that Bitcoin could fall to the $5,000 mark. On the 5th of September, experts on Bloomberg talked about the situations undergone by Bitcoin and where the prices may go during the upcoming fiscal quarters. They stated that 2018 has been quite a volatile year for Bitcoin. That's an understatement, falling from over $20,000 in December 2017 to sustaining under $7,800 mark, $8,000 mark, post the first fiscal quarter of 2018. Reports show that despite the bearish market, Bitcoin is undergoing its best quarter, even though it's still a month left. At the time of writing, Bitcoin was around 7,300, so you can tell this was a couple of days ago. Bitcoin is around 6,300. It's actually quite odd. When I first woke up, the price was 6,100, and then I think a couple of minutes ago, it was 62. Now it's at 63. So no one really ever knows exactly what's happening on the, especially for the Bitcoin price, not even discussing the entire cryptocurrency market prices and stuff like that. This has been speculated for quite some time that Bitcoin is going to go a lot further down. We've had reports for over the last couple of months, even when we were around $8,000, that the price would fall around these exact levels. And then even more so, we had people talking about the $5,000 mark. If Bitcoin hits $5,000 from where it is right now, something pumpy and dumpy has to happen, like with what we saw with the entire Goldman Sachs thing. And even then, furthermore, or further still, we have a lot of people talking about that Bitcoin is probably going to test the $3,000, $4,000 limit. What's actually happening is that there are a lot of people, you may call them whales or whatever you want to call them. It is believed that they pushed the price down of Bitcoin on purpose to show almost like a finalized bottom. You know, the price won't go any further down. We had news from that other, I can't remember there are just too many names to remember at this point. I want to say something Lee. I don't know if that's correct. He said that he thinks that Bitcoin is going to have a like a flash crash. It's going to like it'll be where it is right now. It'll drop by around $1,500, $2,000 and then completely skyrocket up. A lot of people thought that what we had a couple of days ago when we had the entire Goldman Sachs thing with the prices going down, that could have been the moment that we've all been waiting for. But it was caused by unnecessary fear and also manipulation, whatever you kind of want to call it. September has once again been seen as a time where the market could kind of pick back up, because depending on where you read or what you have read, people were saying that typically September is a time when people go back to work, especially people on Wall Street after they've come back from their summer vacations, and they start to look to make profits once again. So this is when people expected for people or other rich people to kind of dump their money back into the markets in order to push the price of Bitcoin back up so that they can make money after their summer holidays and or vacations. But as of yet, the market seems to kind of be mimicking where we were in 2017, i.e. prices are still going down, and no one really knows when they're going to go up. But as of now, don't be surprised, as apparently financial experts are saying that Bitcoin could still fall down to the $5,000 level, which if you are a long-term holder and or hodler, this is not bad for you, as this is probably going to maybe be the lowest that we'll be able to see this over the next couple of forever. It's expected that if we do have the bull market that we have been expecting, and Bitcoin does go up very high, that we will probably never see a 4-digit Bitcoin in our lives again. That is just something to kind of think about. Next up, for those who care, this is not about Mike Tyson. Well, it kind of is. There has been an increase of interest in cryptocurrencies. They have the like names of celebrities who have been getting into cryptocurrencies. What's significant about this is that these people hold an enormous amount of influence over people on social media. on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat. And when we had news a couple of months ago that there was, I can't remember which celebrity exactly that it was, they were talking about cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. And there was like a slight jump in prices. But the fact is that that person, if I'm not mistaken, has like 600,000 followers on Instagram. So when you mention cryptocurrencies and or even just mention Bitcoin to that many people, even if you only have 1/10 of them paying attention, that's a large amount of people who now know what a Bitcoin is, start looking to buy some of it. And because we have a situation on social media where people are looking to mimic their favorite celebrities, if you have 1/10 of 600,000 people looking to even buy just 0.01 of a Bitcoin so that they're in the game the same as their favorite celebrity, this is kind of the idea behind it. So there are a lot of celebrities who are, at least in my opinion, if you as they have a lot more money to spend than the average person, I will put it that way. If these people have gotten into cryptocurrencies relatively early, then they're probably could maybe one day be some of the richest people in the entire world. That's kind of very interesting to think about. Anyway, the point is that this is probably going to spread, because what ends up happening is that as some celebrities get into, we've had a couple of celebrities who were actually into ICOs very heavily at the beginning of this year. And it turns out, lo and behold, big surprise, that a lot of the celebrities who were actually getting into these ICOs, not even Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP, ICOs specifically, they were promoting them. I think Paris Hilton was one of them. I can't remember the other. I think there was another rapper. It wasn't 50 Cent. There was some other rapper who got into ICO game, and it turns out that everything that they had promoted ended up being a scam. So celebrities are now being told not to even touch ICOs and cease and desist and don't do this, and you're going to get in trouble as well for promoting this to hundreds of thousands of people. So now a lot of them are coming forward and talking about their love for Bitcoin. I think Ashton Kutcher, if I'm not mistaken, was also on like the Ellen show a couple of months ago. He was talking about I think he gave away money with the people from Ripple. So they're deep in the space. I always wonder in situations like this just how deep they are, i.e. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this stuff. You know, we always wonder exactly how deep celebrities are into things, and especially if they're really into cryptocurrencies, as they have more money than the average bear, how much they've put into the market, how many Bitcoin they actually have. And on any given day, if you're making a movie that maybe nets you around $10 million, how much after taxes, of course, are they probably putting into cryptocurrencies, especially if they've been in the cryptocurrency space for a couple of years? But yeah, this is, tell me if your favorite celebrity is into cryptocurrencies. I'm pretty sure that they all are at this point. News spreads pretty fast in the rich celebrity world. If other people are getting rich or becoming richer than you are, you want to know exactly how they did it. And as Bitcoin is not a mystery to a lot of people anymore, you can kind of pretty much go anywhere. Does he have his own Bitcoin ATM? I feel like that's definitely exactly what that's. I wouldn't be shocked at all. For those, Mike Tyson and a number of other celebrities are actually like really heavily into investments. There was some other celebrity who's out there who is almost worth like $1 billion because they've secretly been like buying homes and all these other investments. So anyway, this is the celebrity news that happened during this week, but we've actually had news over the last couple of weeks that there are a lot of celebrities who are definitely in the cryptocurrency spaces. They've been going on TV or they've been talking about it and promoting crypto on their social media platforms. Next up, the creator of Cardano, his name is Charles Hoskin's son. He has been in the news quite often recently, the last couple of weeks. I speculated that he's doing it because I know that IOTA, I know that EOS, or rather Cardano, has officially launched. I got it. But there's another update that's supposed to be coming out very soon that is meant to be like the finality. Like this is the beginning of the full official launch of Cardano. He's been talking out against a lot of other cryptocurrency projects. Mainly, I think he had bad stuff to say about Bitcoin. He talked down XRP. He had words to swap or say with the creator of Ethereum, as he thinks that Cardano is actually better than a lot of other coins. Before I get into it, his reasoning behind it is, for those who do not know, is that the purpose of Cardano is that Cardano is meant to be mathematically proven in what it does, i.e., he states, and other people states who are into Cardano or who have read about Cardano, they say that Cardano is made by NASA scientists. I feel like that's part of the thing, and it has something to do with mathematical scientists. And the idea is that every other coin that's out there has not been proven. It's kind of this, someone threw it together, said this is a coin, this coin is going to work, and he claims that Cardano is the best coin out there because everything that Cardano has and will be run on, and the future implementations for Cardano and the future upgrades are all mathematically sound. There's nothing that can break them and or challenge them, as they are mathematically proven. On the 2nd of September, an interview of Charles Hoskinson, the founder of the blockchain firm Input Output IOHK, surfaced online. Here, the interviewer, Andrew McDonald, sought Hoskinson's opinion on several subjects, such as his viewpoints on EOS versus Cardano, trading in the market, wars on smart contracts, and more. Hoskinson explained his project Cardano to the non-techies, stating that the project is similar to Ethereum but uses proof-of-stake algorithms in order to increase or enhance the speed of the blockchain while protecting the components of decentralization and security. He mentioned that speed, decentralization, and security are the three factors required to be balanced by a blockchain, which is not possible with the current technology. Furthermore, the technology involved in Bitcoin and Ethereum has reached a dead end. Switching subjects, the founder of Cardano spoke about EOS and Cardano contrasting each other. According to Hoskinson, the CTO of EOS, Dan Larimer created EOS using delegated proof of stake with a goal to enable consumer adoption on a widespread scale. However, the DPoS system compromises on the decentralization factor of the blockchain. Hoskinson stated that a blockchain loses the point of its creation when the developer needs to ask if centralization and control are okay. The blockchain expert further explained the purpose of the Cardano ecosystem, wherein he stated that the blockchain has a layered architecture and is undergoing innovation. So as of now, like I said, I get that Cardano has launched. I get that you are able to trade the coins back and forth, but I am not, first of all, depending on how you want to pronounce it, it's either Ouroboros or Ouroboros. People were mentioning before that they didn't like my pronunciation of the word. I made sure to Google it multiple times, and I found, especially if you go onto YouTube, like, you know, right above here on YouTube, and type in Ouroboros, it's pronounced Ouroboros. That is supposed to be the next upgrade that is happening on Cardano, which is the proof of stake, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to be the forefront and the beginning of Cardano dominating the entire world, as Charles Hoskinson has said. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. We have a multitude of coins right now who are claiming that they are better than Ethereum, that they can do a lot better than Ethereum, that they are quicker than every other coin that is trying to fight against Ethereum. But as of yet, as we are in a bear market, none of them have been able to really show their teeth, if you will. I'm extremely interested, and I've said this before, I'm interested in seeing when prices do start to go up and utility does happen and people start using these coins and these coins show their actual worth, exactly if Ethereum will remain number 2 or if some other coin will be able to push it out of the way, because we've had a lot of talk over the last couple of months, but no one has really showed. No one has shown that they can actually stand up to Ethereum, at least at this point. This one's actually really funny. So CryptoKitties is a dApp, or decentralized application, that is on the Ethereum network, and it pretty much allows you to swap cats or digital cats back and forth. The interesting thing is that recently someone sold a CryptoKitty for 600 Ethereum, and at the time of them writing this was around $170,000. I tried using CryptoKitties, I think the first couple of days that it came out. The Ethereum network was having a problem, whereas it was just completely clogged. You couldn't buy anything, you couldn't sell anything. You had to put your own amount of gas, which is like the fuel, if you want to say that, for the Ethereum network. It was a complete mess. Some transactions were costing like around like $16 to try and buy a cat. The cats were costing like maybe 2 or 3 euros, like $1.50 or something, like $2.50 or something like that. It was just a complete mess. Point is that for those who once again don't know, you can actually buy, or like every time you can breed the cats, and the cats ends up having like babies, and then that one becomes a new generation. So, you know, if you have a mother and father and they breed and then they have a cat, that's then second generation, and so on and so forth. Last time I used it, I think they were on like generation like 27 or something like that. So this is kind of where it kind of gets into it. This cat was bred, I think it's called Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. And for some reason, yeah, it's called Dragon. Someone bought it for 172,000 US dollars. Typically what ends up happening is that in the crypto kitty space, you can have certain cats. If you breed really expensive cats together or very rare cats, you can have a cat, like a 1 in 20,000 cat that has blue eyes, that has wings, that has a dragon's tail, that has all these other things. Apparently this cat isn't that special, and people were trying to figure out what the significance of the 896,000th crypto kitty was that someone would spend 600 Ethereum on them. If you really dig deeper into the article, people were saying that someone must have either really loved the cat, or they were using it to pay someone off, or that they were simply trying to launder money, and the most intelligent way for them to do this was to buy a digital cat. I think the other most expensive cat that has ever been sold was for $110,000, if you can even believe that. It says, you know, at the height of the mania, but that's still, for a digital cat, that's still a bit out of line. But apparently, I think there are still tons of people who are using CryptoKitties. This is not me advertising CryptoKitties. I can promise you that much. I have completely stayed away from it because I think it's just not that it's ridiculous, but it's just kind of a lot going on. But it's still believed, if at some point that CryptoKitties does pick up, should that actually happen, that the oldest generations of cats will actually be selling for, 5 digits, something like that. I mean, if we have a couple of cats that have already, this one sold. Can you imagine creating a cat, or rather getting into this game very early and then being able to sell something for $110,000 with no work at all? You know, you don't actually, you're not actually physically in the breeding process. It's just kind of interesting. These apps are expected to eventually take over the world and bring crypto to the forefront of popularity all around the world. But the news that happened a couple of days ago was that for some reason on CryptoKitties, someone spent 600 Ethereum for a cat that isn't actually real, and there's nothing significant about it at all. So one can only speculate as to exactly why this cat was purchased in the first place. So this is something that's going to be happening. It's actually November 24th. There's something called Crypto Expo Asia. They don't even really state exactly who's going to be there. It just says a large number of people in the cryptocurrency space. I think they're trying to get everyone in the world to come there. How likely that is to happen? I mean, not everyone in the in the entire world, but very famous people in the cryptocurrency space. It says that there are going to be magic shows and lucky draws and fantastic prizes. That sounds wonderful. I never thought that there would be many magic shows at a cryptocurrency event. But I assume a lot of this is going to be talking about regulations within Asia. I would assume, just me personally, that the people from Tron, Neo, Omise Go, maybe a couple other Asia-based coins are probably going to be there as well. It could be interesting. No one knows. It doesn't really say at all what's going to actually happen there, except that they're going to be talking about ICOs and white papers and blockchains and due diligence and things like that. I would assume that if enough large names or large coins or large projects are going to be there, that we could hear some type of announcements. But this is all obviously just speculation. But typically whenever there's something like a major event that's a couple of months away, companies start announcing on their Twitter that they're going to give information about something major that is going to be happening with their project. And this is typically where they try to announce it, as there are tons of people in the audience who are openly listening to figure out if they should then invest in a certain type of coin. So this is why we have a lot of the announcements, and they end up coming from these expos and or major events around the world, because this is usually the best time to show what you've got in order to try and get other people on board to be able to finance your project. Ethereum is always in the news, not even once again in the news. We spoke a bit about, we've been discussing the future of ICOs and the future of STOs and the future of even Ethereum as well. There's been a lot of, I don't know what happened I don't know any real major players in the cryptocurrency space, so I can't say for sure exactly what's been going on. But there's been a lot of hate directed exclusively towards Ethereum. As of late, it comes down to, I don't really even know what it is. I'm sure a lot of you have been shocked as well, because for a long time, Ethereum was seen as the golden child. Ethereum was the coin that could potentially overtake Bitcoin. Ethereum was the new internet that we were going to have. But a lot of people have been coming forward rapidly the last couple of weeks, talking about Ethereum, talking about its flaws. And a major issue that's happening right now is that last year in 2017, we had a number of, like, the beginning of the ICO stage, kind of. ICOs really took off around 2017. This is when they started to become noticed. Around mid-2017, we had even just coins like EOS, for instance, who announced that they were going to be built on the Ethereum blockchain. People were very excited how cool that is, that another coin is going to be built on top of it. But the issue is that a lot of the ICOs that have been built on top of Ethereum have been built on top of it almost like parasites. They were built on top of Ethereum to be able to give their coin not a framework, but like a place to be built on top of. They became their own coin, and then they were announcing that they were actually built on top of Ethereum because these ICOs were all funded in Ethereum. So I think there were hundreds of ICOs that were built and are still going to be built on top of Ethereum. But when you are accepting Ethereum or ETH for your ICO, what they've been doing is that when their project has merged off, created their own blockchain and kind of gone on their own way, they've been selling the Ethereum that they got from the ICO. And the problem is that if one project did this, this would be no problem. But when you have 20, 30, 40 projects who are doing this at the exact same time, this has a detrimental effect on the price of Ethereum. And even more so, there was an article a couple of days ago how Ethereum is like an ICO graveyard at this point, where a large number of projects have completely either disappeared with the money, gotten Ethereum from an ICO that was actually never going to happen, sold the Ethereum, whether it be into Tether or some other coin. And this is causing the massive push down in the price of Ethereum. To me, it all seems coordinated. If you even look back a year, or if you have been paying attention even to my last 3-4 months of videos, you may have noticed the shift against Ethereum. Even just a year ago, like I said, Ethereum was this beloved coin that everyone loved. Everyone loved that you were able to build things on top of the Ethereum network, that you could build apps on top of it, you could build websites. This is going to be the future of decentralization. But every other coin that has kind of stemmed from Ethereum has spoken about Ethereum's fees. We had something yesterday where people were talking about, if you are trying to, if you are trying to send a text, if you are trying to do this, if you have to do this, it all costs money on Ethereum, because Ethereum doesn't have free transactions, the same as other coins that are stemming from Ethereum are all claiming that they do have. And this is a major problem. I told you guys 2 months ago, I said I have a very bad feeling about Ethereum. Not that Ethereum is a bad project. I feel like the tide is turning against it, and the only thing that's going to save Ethereum is if we get Plasma and if we get Casper. The entire time that we've been promised these upgrades on Ethereum has been, it's been quite some time now. I think even Plasma was supposed to have come out in Q3 of 2018. We still don't have it. I've heard whispers of Q4, but I think that's just wishful thinking. If Ethereum does not get it together, the price is going to continue going down. I don't have the price. Maybe it's up here. Nope, I don't have the price anywhere. But the price of Ethereum this morning when I woke up was around $192. Just a couple days ago, it was almost $300. It's very scary. I'm pretty sure even the people from the Ethereum team are probably scrambling. I feel like when your price goes up, you kind of become very complacent. Not to say that they took their time. I don't know the Ethereum team. I don't know what they've been doing. I understand that coding is difficult. But, human nature, when prices go up, we become very comfortable. And I feel like as prices continue to shoot up and Ethereum hit $1,300, a lot of the pressure may have felt like it was no longer on their backs. But Ethereum is definitely in trouble. If we end up having an Ethereum price suppressed lower than $100, that is a very bad indication. That is once again not to say that Ethereum cannot recover. For those who were not here, Ethereum's price was $8 in January 2017, and by the end of the year, it hit 1,300. I still am hopeful for Ethereum. There are a lot of major backers for Ethereum, a lot of the people who could not get into Bitcoin very early, i.e. by the point when Bitcoin was around like $1,200, Ethereum was around $7, $8. So a lot of these people used their millions and or hundreds of thousands to buy up as much Ethereum as possible. And these are the kind of the major players that we see in the cryptocurrency space who are constantly going on the news and talking about how great Ethereum is. But there have been a lot of projects recently who have been talking about how they don't like Ethereum, how Ethereum is going down. Who knows exactly what the future holds for Ethereum, but let's hope that things get a bit better, because it is a very great project, but Ethereum will not survive. Do not be confused at all. Ethereum will not survive unless they are able to implement Plasma and have 100,000 transactions per second and almost no fees at all on the network, because realistically, being able to only do 15 transactions maximum per second when Bitcoin I think has like maximum 5 or 6 or 7 or something like that, that is a major problem when you have potentially thousands of people trying to build their coin on your network. The Ethereum team has to get it together, and if not, it is going to be like quicksand for them. Bitcoin dark, Bitcoin dark, Bitcoin dark was in the news earlier this week and is actually still kind of in the news depending on where you look around. Something happened earlier this week where a coin known as Bitcoin dark that no one used, no one spoke about, no one had any interest in, especially if you went to their website and their page, and the website is actually offline, for some reason spiked by almost 400% over the course of a weekly period. No one knew what was going on. People were saying that the developers were back, that there was some type of bullish news, but their volume on the coin was actually so low that anyone could have done this. Not with the greatest of ease, but you know, a couple thousand could have easily pushed the price up. It was really almost nowhere. Realistically, kind of nowhere. I don't know. You know, people are saying that this could have been a pump and dump. Typically, if you see prices of almost 400% up, when you have no real hype and or usage or no one's talking about you, that usually is an issue. Privacy coins, I'm certain that Bitcoin dark is meant to be some type of a privacy coin, if I'm not mistaken. Privacy coins have been very big in the cryptocurrency space, but it also leads to the idea of why would there be such a huge amount of hype around Bitcoin dark as opposed to Zcash, Monero, or Dash, or even Bitcoin private, which I think is like $4 or something like that right now. No one really knows for sure. A lot of speculation floating around, but me personally, I stay away from things like this, no matter how nice of a number it may seem. Typically, these are people just trying to pump up the price. They sell into Tether, and then from Tether, they've made from this pump an enormous amount of money, and this is what they kind of start buying into some of the larger coins on the network, or rather the blockchain space. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. But Bitcoin dark was definitely in the news for quite some time. I skipped over it because no one was really talking about Bitcoin dark. This is why this is called News I Missed. But that is the potential pump and dump coin news that we've had over the last couple of days. Next up, for those who do not know, there's something called Coursera. I know it's kind of big in the States. It's pretty much like a without getting too much into it, university is very expensive in the States, and a lot of people who are using Coursera in order to take free university courses since they're free. Pretty much, I've read something, I think Coursera has to be about 3, 4, 5 years old. This is not paid advertisement, by the way. A couple of years ago, I remember I read about Coursera, and I had a lot of friends who are living in the States who told me that they were actually using it, because what it actually comes down to, you can actually take free courses from Harvard, from Brown, from like some of the major universities, and when you're done with your Coursera course, you actually get a certificate. And then a lot of people have been using these certificates. They've been, taking courses, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 courses every semester, if you will, the courses tend to last for that long, and they get a certificate, and then they're actually able to find jobs with it. That is, could be potentially something useful for a lot of other people who are listening to this as well. If you are finding that university in the States is too expensive, you can use Coursera to do a couple of courses, get some certificates, and maybe even be able to find the job for something that you've been wanting to get into, but you don't feel like spending $25,000 a year. on that same exact thing, that, like I said, that was not paid. I just think the idea of free university is great. I think everybody should be able to learn. They've started offering a free blockchain course. A lot of people have been wondering how to get into blockchain, how to get into the blockchain space, exactly how they could even make money from it besides just getting into cryptocurrency and or buying and selling and trading or day trading. And this could be a very good way for people to kind of get into this. Have a look at Coursera if it's something that interests you, even just to learn a bit more about blockchain. There are actually a lot of countries around the world that are now offering free blockchain courses and free cryptocurrency courses. I was watching, I want to say it was on Vice. I don't even remember. I'm subscribed to so many things and I watch so many things throughout the day. They were talking about that there are certain countries around the world that are offering free blockchain courses and also courses to help people, to actually learn how to build their own cryptocurrencies. I know that sounds completely insane, but it's actually something that's actually happening because they understand that it's the future and they want people to be able to build these things. You know, if jobs should shift from, you know, if we have a relatively large automated world and people are looking for more jobs and you're looking to get into blockchain and or learning how to create your own cryptocurrency, this could be beneficial for you in the future. I saw this. I thought it was very good. I think more things like this should be happening. So hats off to Coursera and the Consensus team for just even creating something like this. I think this is going to benefit a lot of people, especially no one really knows where the blockchain and or crypto space is going to be in the upcoming 10 years, but it could be something incredibly large, and learning something for free, especially if you are able to then teach courses or help other people, that could be very good for the future of you. I don't really know how to phrase that, but you kind of get what I'm saying. Next up, VeChain is in the news. It's not incredibly large. The VeChain people, we don't typically hear about VeChain that much. They've partnered with the People's Insurance Company of China. This is more, once again, about their blockchain and not their actual coin. A lot of countries around the world are looking to partner with, if you will, or like use the blockchain of very significant and established coins, or coins that they assume will be established. So this is, you know, very nice. There's a huge move right now towards medical companies, insurance companies, lawyers, accountants and stuff like that, trying to get into the blockchain space because they believe that it's going to be beneficial to be able to track data that they have going around, especially when it comes to an insurance company. But once again, this is interesting that China chose VeChain. So this could be, this is just 99,000% speculation. Everyone's constantly trying to speculate on what coins they think could be used in China and or allowed within the China space, because China is so pro blockchain, but seems to be very anti cryptocurrencies. So this isn't them using the VeChain coin, but it's still a step forward as far as crypto/blockchain integration and acceptance. Especially if other people catch wind that VeChain has been partnered with the People's Insurance Company of China. This could be very good for the coin in the future, as other people will possibly not only want to use their blockchain, but potentially also use their coin because they may see some type of benefit in their own systems with it. Walton Chain is in the news. This is also another coin that we don't typically hear about that often. Walton Chain has been listed on BitThumb. If I'm not mistaken, I think BitThumb is the 5th largest crypto exchange in the entire world. Anytime that a coin gets listed onto a major exchange, there's usually a bump in volume. Volume is very important. I do commend a number of exchanges for finally getting it through their heads that they have to add more coins. They're adding more coins, but they're not adding more coin pairings, i.e. this is probably only going to be listed against Ethereum and Bitcoin. But the fact is, when you get your coin or a coin that you like listed onto a major cryptocurrency exchange, at least ones in the top 10 around the world, this usually has a nice or okay impact on the price of the coin. And especially, I'm glad that they're doing this before any potential type of bull run that we could be having, simply because this will directly be able to benefit from the listing as you know, when people are getting into the cryptocurrency market and they're looking for an exchange to use and they're looking for what coin to buy, being listed on a major exchange will allow people to then have access to your coin and also create an increase in volume for the cryptocurrency project. Walton Chain, we really barely ever hear about it, like almost never, even like updates and stuff like that. I guess once again, I think a lot of people or projects are holding back, if you will, on their updates and stuff like that for their coins, simply because the prices are going down and nobody wants to give any good news that may then become irrelevant in 4 or 5 weeks when they could wait for the prices to start to go back up. Charlie Lee is in the news, or was in the news once again. He had a discussion with someone, I don't remember exactly who at this moment, about the future of Bitcoin's price, where he pretty much said, long story short, he thinks that Bitcoin is still the future. He thinks that Litecoin is valued because of what it can do for Bitcoin. And he thinks that eventually the entire scalability discussion will completely disappear for altcoins, which is kind of true. I mean, eventually, you know, we have a lot of discussions about it now because it's a major problem. But it's kind of like the internet. For those who are around or those who have done their research or have looked around the late 90s, early 2000s, it was believed that the internet that we're using right now, would never, ever, 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 ever be able to scale. People thought that websites loaded too slow. I don't know how many of you were ever using dial-up. It was horrible. So this is basically where the cryptocurrency space is now. But if you think of a future, or rather the future where we are right now from where we were even like in 1998, 1999, how far the internet has gone with Wi-Fi, with even, I guess Bluetooth really isn't the internet. But any type of wireless thing that we have, I'm pretty sure many of you are maybe listening to me on a tablet or even on your phone that is also not connected to a cord that is getting you internet right now. So within the next 10 years, crypto is expected to have grown as much as this as well, which is quite interesting, especially because we had news yesterday from Coinbase that they said that within the next 5 years that we're going to have over 1 billion people in the cryptocurrency space, and crypto will definitely have to scale. But I assume, myself, if we've had so much talk about scalability and a lot of projects say that they're very close. Even Vitalik Buterin has hinted that they're not very far off from Casper and also Plasma. Possibly by 2020, I think the entire scalability discussion will be a thing of the past, and then we'll have a whole bunch of other coins that are coming out, brand new coins that claim that they can do 10 million transactions per second, and everything else that does 100,000 per second will be perceived as old and slow and sluggish. But I guess that's just how the world works. IOTA was also in the news this week. Volkswagen has confirmed that their collaborative project with IOTA will be ready in Q1 of 2019. The project, dubbed Digital Car Pass, is the first attempt by a car manufacturer to use IOTA's network to track a vehicle's performance. IOTA announced their collaboration with Volkswagen back in February. This announcement is the first confirmation that the partnership is moving forward. Speculation and rumors have some assuming that the IOTA network could also have some application to Volkswagen's autonomous car project as well. That'd be kind of cool. Although the Digital Car Pass project does not directly use the IOTA token, its price has seen a boost following the announcement. The project will act as a great boost to the IOTA ecosystem. To be fair, that is major to be able to partner with a company like this. But like I always say, a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space don't care if they're just using your blockchain or your Tangle or your network. People want them to be using the coin because this shows that the coin has value as it is being used in something else. I'm almost certain, even though they may not have announcement, Volkswagen is probably testing the use of the IOTA token. They had a pretty bad rap about a year ago with people complaining that this wasn't working on the network, that there was this type of problem. Since then, IOTA has smoothed out a lot of the issues that they were having before. It would be astronomically incredible if year and a half from now, 2 years from now, the Volkswagen people, because IOTA has been partnering with a number of like car companies and like tech companies and stuff like that in Europe, if they come forward and say that over the last 2 years, they have actually been testing the IOTA token and you're actually going to be able to use it as a payment method for their self-driving cars, I think the IOTA price would completely go insane. Once again, that is all speculation. But like I said, it's, you know, It's safe to say that they've probably been testing it. Whether they're going to use the actual token is something completely different, but very good once again for the IOTA team, for them being able to snag all of these partnerships. I'm sure it's not easy having to sit into a room and trying to get people to use your 2-3 year old technology for especially like a gigantic company such as Volkswagen. Justin Sun is in the news once again. Justin Sun, who is the founder and CEO of Tron Foundation, announced the launch of the new web portal of BitTorrent, a client of BitTorrent, which was recently acquired by Tron. During the TVM launch, Justin stated that all the clients of BitTorrent, including uTorrent, will be Tron clients. He said, and I do quote, "Say hi to uTorrent Web, a torrent client for the streaming age. Thanks uTorrent and BitTorrent teams for creating this amazing product. Download the Windows version and let us know what you think." According to the announcement made by the foundation, BitTorrent and uTorrent teams have been working together for the launch of this new project or product, uTorrent Web, for several months. The foundation stated that they are excited to launch the web-based product, which is simple and allows quick download. In addition, Corey Keller, the product designer of uTorrent team, briefed the community on the use of the new product. Corey believes that the next generation of torrenting is with uTorrent. Torrenting is quite illegal in a number of countries depending on where you are. I don't know the specifics of what they're planning with this. A lot of people have been speculating for quite some time. We also had news earlier this week that, not only was Tron trying to get a hold of BitTorrent, but it was also Neo, which is also another company that is based in China. They were both vying for the ability to be able to buy BitTorrent. BitTorrent isn't as popular as it was many, many years ago, but torrenting is quite illegal as it has to do with the, don't steal my movies or don't steal my TV shows and all that other stuff. No one knows exactly what they're planning with all this, what the thing is going to be. A lot of people who are actually using BitTorrent have said that they've seen a number of Tron ads floating around on the website. I don't think that they were just trying to acquire it just to have ads or ads promoting their coin all over the place. No one knows exactly what they're planning, but apparently they are going to be doing stuff with this client. I don't know if they're trying to, this is once again speculation, if they're trying to make a decentralized web-based place where everybody can download what they want when they want, anonymously, or what the exact case is. It could really be anything. But when you have something like this where people are able to download things illegally and or free, and they're trying to integrate Tron with it, you have to assume that they're possibly trying to make something like that where people in the world can do what they want, when they want, how they want, and get the information that they want from the internet. No one knows. All speculation, but I'm pretty sure in the next couple of months we will have concrete news as to exactly what Justin Sun has been planning with his company acquisitions as of late. And last up, so I'll just read a bit through it. The CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange platform called Coinbase, his name is Brian Armstrong, discussed the U.S. regulation for cryptocurrencies during the 2018 Disrupt conference. During the conference, Brian was asked about his stance on cryptocurrency regulation in the United States. Given the fact that there have not been new laws since the Securities Act of 1993 and 1994, he said, and I quote, "Yes, I don't think there will ever be a moment where it's like now. We have cryptocurrency regulation because cryptocurrency has now branched out to be so many things. It's money, it's potentially stocks or securities, it's commodity, it's property, and then that's just in the United States." He continued to say that cryptocurrency is a global phenomenon and that every country has a different perspective on it. According to him, cryptocurrency is already a regulated industry in the United States. Brian stated that Coinbase is one of the few companies in New York to get a BIT license, and the platform is regulated as a money transmitter in several states. He said that the new next stage of the progression stage, which would probably give some clarity on the new tokens, which are being created that are raising money. This has to come down to with the, are they ICOs? Are they not ICOs? He says that crypto is already a regulated industry. I definitely beg to differ, especially as there's been no proper clarification on anything in the United States. Coinbase might be a regulated industry, as these have to be like money transmitting services, and you have different laws in every single state and in different countries and stuff like that. That's one thing. But as far as like proper regulation, when you are able to put in a sell order for $74 million against the price of Bitcoin and no one knows who you are, that is not regulated. If you had tried to do that on the stock market and someone had put in $74 million sell order and the market had dropped by $40 billion, one, that's not possible. And two, that's not possible without them knowing who you are, especially because of KYC and stuff like that. But apparently, according to him, I'm still certain. Excuse me if I'm incorrect, but I think that especially Coinbase has received proper clarification from the SEC and the CFTC as to exactly what every single coin is. But I think everyone is once again waiting for the market to go back up. But I feel like a large part of the news that these companies could be releasing, they're not releasing, and therefore this is why prices are still down. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Alrighty, everyone, that is definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your weekend, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a relaxing time wherever you are. Thank you once again for all the support, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.